Welcome back, everyone. Phoenix 3 here. And I kind of want to talk about DLC options for Pokken Tournament. Pokken Tournament has been out now for a little over 2 months, and I'm pretty sure we've all had our fill of the game right now. We've done everything that it could offer, but I don't know about you guys, but I am actually pretty bored of the game right now. And that's largely because there aren't any Pokemon in this game that I care about. So I'm finding it really hard to be emotionally invested into the game. I wonder if anyone else out there feels that same way. Sure, this doesn't apply to the people who have their favorite Pokemon in the game already, but a lot of us aren't in that same boat. So, since the Wii U is technically a next generation game console, DLC is always an option to expand the roster a whole lot more. When it comes to games, I'm not really all that excited for DLC because I could really care less about the game. Call of Duty is always going to have its DLC, and I'll buy the DLC when it shows up, but it's not really something that like I'm waiting for that I have to have. I just usually just sit by, and if it comes out, I get it. But Pokemon is a different story for me. I am emotionally invested in Pokemon. Pokemon is my life. It's been there with me ever since I've been growing up. It's it's a part of me, and because of that, I've kind of built bonds with some of the characters. I know that's a stupid thing to say. You really can't build a relationship with a fictional character, but there are a lot of Pokemon that I'm emotionally attached to, and I'm sure the same applies for everyone else who has a favorite. And I kind of want to see the roster expand out a little bit so we can get some of these Pokemon in. Now, seeing the way that Pokemon tournaments development went, they favored Pokemon that actually stood on two legs and has two arms that can potentially punch and kick. Just a standard humanoid or human-like Pokemon. I kind of don't want to see this be the first pick for DLC options because this is Pokemon, and Pokemon is a whole lot more than things that just punch and kick. So I kind of want to see them expand out. There's no secret that I want bird Pokemon in this game. That is kind of my whole campaign for this game. I do want them in here, but there's a part of me that thinks if we do get DLC, that's not going to happen. I firmly believe that our DLC options, if we get them, might be Zoroark and Greninja. Two Pokemon I really don't care about, and not ones that I would be exciting to buy. Even if they were in a DLC pack, I don't have any kind of relationship with those Pokemon whatsoever. They aren't ones that I like, and I really don't want to see them get in over more unique choices. When it comes to Pokemon like Zoroark, I'm not sure how its illusion mechanic can actually work in the game, simply because of how it works in the main series games. It's basically just it can transform into a different Pokemon. Like that's its gimmick. This obviously doesn't work in a fighting game, so they'll have to find a way to make that work if they want to put it in. But since I don't think they can, then I don't think we'll be seeing that Pokemon anytime soon. But one thing that we kind of do need to keep in mind is that Harada really doesn't like DLC in games. So it's really going to be his word versus what Nintendo wants. Because Sakurai said the same thing. He didn't want DLC in Smash. And here we are with DLC in Smash. Um, the DLC options that I do want, I want the Pokemon to feel unique. I don't want it to simply just be like the Pokemon has to be in here because they're the popular Pokemon. I really want to see Pokemon in this game that have some kind of personality, and I feel a lot of Pokemon that they could possibly bring in can kind of fit that, because a lot of Pokemon in the game are too overly serious, and I really don't like that. Like I want to see more personality, like what Machamp and Weavile have. All the other Pokemon, they just kind of come across way too serious. I really don't care about that. Like we got Mewtwo, who's a serious fighter. Shadow Mewtwo, who's a serious fighter. Lucario, who's a serious fighter. Pikachu, who's a serious fighter. I mean, like a lot of Pokemon in this game have the same personality, and I really don't want that. And I kind of want to see something more. Like I want Pidgeot to be in this game, and if it is in this game, I want it to be a contest Pokemon where it obviously has been bred throughout multiple generations. So its moveset would have to have things in it like Mud Slap and stuff like that because those are really old moves that you can't get anymore, that you can only get in a past generation game. So I kind of want to see stuff like that that could bring in Easter eggs so people who play the main game series will see something like that. And they'd be like, okay, that's actually pretty cool because, you know, that's not a Pokemon you can actually get anymore, and it shows that that trainer stuck with this Pokemon throughout their journey. So I kind of want to see more stuff like this where the Pokemon has a backstory and they're just not in the game for the sake of being in the game. Sure, that same backstory can be used on any Pokemon, but I think it'd be more appropriate on Pidgeot since it's a more well-rounded Pokemon. It can do a little bit of everything. And me personally, I've always put my Pidgeots through the contests in games when they were available. That was always something fun for me. Some other Pokemon I would like to see. I would like to see Serperior make it into the game. Not for the sake of it being a popular starter. It's just the fact that the game needs to have a snake or serpent Pokemon in it. I mean, any will be fine. Seviper would be fine. Arbok would be fine. Dragonair would be fine. Milotic is another popular choice. And if I had to pick between any of them, I would give priorities to Serperior and Milotic, simply because I kind of think they're like the poster boys for that body type. Maybe some other dragons. I don't want to see anything that stands on two legs. Like I wanted to get Flygon, and Flygon is definitely a Pokemon I would pick for a dragon fighter. But between Charizard, Sceptile, and um, Garchomp, we really don't need any more of that body type. So I would like to see a Pokemon like Salamence make it in, or I think Salamence is really the only one really. Yeah, so I mean, I guess Salamence is really the only one. I would like to see that get in. If there were to put in another bird Pokemon into the game, um, I would probably give priority to Staraptor. If I had to pick two bird Pokemon, it'll definitely be Pidgeot and Staraptor for non-legendaries. If I were to pick a legendary bird, it might be Zapdos. I kind of do think the game needs another electric type that isn't Pikachu, because only two electric types in the game are Pikachu, and they're obviously not playing the game by Pokemon types. And I really don't want them to put Pokemon in because the game doesn't have this type in the game. I really don't care about that. But I kind of want to see some more diversity. We could possibly use some more electric attackers that aren't Pikachu. Zapdos would be a good one. Luxray would be a good one. I don't know if people care about Manectric, but I would always give priority to Luxray over Manectric anyway. Another fire Pokemon that could possibly be in the game, and I know people don't want to see any more fire types, and I don't blame them, but a personal favorite for me would probably be Charmander. I like Charmander a whole lot more than I like Charizard. Charizard is kind of a perk for me, but if I can keep a Charmander, I'll just use Charmander. If we didn't need any more starters, I would love to see Arcanine. And I'm being very picky here by not picking any evolutions. Because I think if you're going to have one of them, then you have to have all of them. That's just kind of the way I feel about that. Most of the evolutions are on support. But if you do notice, Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon aren't anywhere in the game. And they aren't background decoration. So if we do get any playable evolutions, it might be one of those three. Hoping they give preference to Vaporeon because I want Vaporeon to be playable. But yeah, we got Suicune, so I don't think that's going to happen. They could do it. I mean, we got two Pikachu's and two Mewtwo's, so I mean, we could essentially have two Suicunes. So I really don't even really care if they were to do something like that. Another Pokemon that I really do want to be playable is Zangoose. Um, I mean, we got Weavile, and the two kind of play the same. But Zangoose has a really good special move set, as do most normal type Pokemon. Zangoose doesn't have to be a physical attacker; it could be a special attacker. It's not that great, but I've done stuff in game with the special attacking choice specs Zangoose that caught people off guard. So Zangoose could definitely do stuff like that. Zangoose learns all of the important elemental attacks. It learns Thunderbolt. It learns Flamethrower. It learns Solar Beam. It learns Blizzard. It learns Ice Beam. It learns Fire Blast. It learns Thunder. It learns Water Pulse. It learns everything. So I mean, you can really do some really special things with a Zangoose if you wanted to make it a playable character. They could take the cheap way out and just make it like Weavile, but I really do think there's some opportunity here for Zangoose to be a very unique character in the game. Even if they want to make it a serious fighter, you don't have to do that. You can make it like a pet, or make it a Pokemon where a trainer just threw every move they had on it or had available to them and just put it on Zangoose because it could do everything. So you could kind of have Zangoose be a mix of those things. It could be a brawler and it could be a zoner at the same time. Not Mewtwo levels good, but like balanced, I guess would be the best way to say that. I don't think there are any other DLC options that I really want. Like my top picks for this game are definitely Vaporeon, Pidgeot, and Zangoose. With priority with Zapdos if they had to put any legendary birds in the game. But those are really just my wishes there, and I want to see something unique. I really don't want more humanoid Pokemon. I want more oddball picks like Chandelure and Suicune, with more preference towards things like Chandelure, because that's what Pokemon is about. Pokemon is always about these gimmicky Pokemon that can do things and all this other stuff. It's not like Digimon, how everything eventually turns into a human. That's the reason that I like Pokemon a whole lot more than Digimon, because there is diversity between the species. You know, your birds are going to stay birds, your dragons are going to stay dragons, your fish are going to stay fish. You know, you're not going to have a situation where like a Magikarp turns into like Aquaman or something like that. Like that's not going to happen, but that will happen with Digimon. So everything with animes like that come into a singularity, and Pokemon isn't that way. There's a lot of diversity in the evolution, and I kind of want to see Pokken Tournament pick some of those Pokemon for DLC options and not take the obvious routes out. But that's all I kind of got to say about that. But I want to know what you guys kind of want for DLC, because there are a lot of people who have wishes for DLC for this game, and everybody wants to see their favorite Pokemon in the game, and I don't blame them. I want to see my favorite Pokemon in the game as well. But I want to know some of your picks. So if you don't mind telling me that in the comments below, and let me know what Pokemon you guys want to see in the game and why. Or maybe you don't have to tell me why, and you just want the Pokemon in the game. Doesn't really matter. Just tell me. And I want to get an idea what the community thinks about this game. And I don't want to hear anything like the roster needs to stay small because it balances the game. No, man, screw that. The game right now is incredibly unbalanced and it needs work. And adding more Pokemon isn't going to make the game any more unbalanced. All it's going to do is increase people's enjoyment of the game. And that's what I want. I want people to enjoy the game. I really don't care about competitive. I don't care about any of that stuff. If you care about that, then great, play the game. But I'm not going to let a competitive community ruin the enjoyment of this game for people, because the competitive community doesn't matter, in my opinion. And if it does to you, then fine. Maybe go play another game or something like that. But this is Pokemon, and I want it to be Pokemon first. And a Pokemon game should definitely have more than 14 species in it. So that's all I got to say about this video. It's not as long as it could have been, so that's good. And thank you for watching my video and just staying around to see what I had to say. And I hope to see you all in the next one.